We are the Coinboys, your average, everyday crypto, tech, and gaming bros. That's right. It's Andy, aka producer, by the way, or producer BTW on Twitter. And sitting to my left
is Daniel Gutierrez at dgutierrez84 on Twitter.
And Aaron, aka Sanity at Sanity Crypto. I know my own tag on Twitter.
You'll get it
and
right.
IG.
So,
One day. I did rebrand it once. Yeah.
Yes. Before we kind of get into our normal show, I know Daniel wants to share some things because I know there's been a lot going on in the real world, especially here in America. So, Daniel, what would you like to say?
So, thank you. So, first off, they're indulging me for this. So, thank you for the time.
Just to give people we don't talk politics. We usually
don't.
We don't. So,
We don't. But a lot of crap happened over the weekend, and I'm not getting into the political things. Obviously, it's very, very sad and tragic, and it definitely affects family, affects people that I know, people left and right, and unfortunately, we've been through this many, many, many times. I mean, I remember being a freshman for Columbine. I was in junior high for the North Hollywood shootout, and I was actually shut into my own classroom because of that. And there's a lot of things that have been going on. So I just want to say my condolences to those who are out there because I know what you're going through, and I know what's been going on. So I'm sorry for that. But another thing that happens is everybody starts to try to point the blame on someone. And that's
someone or something.
Someone or something. And one thing that does affect us is video games and gaming. And I remember when I was in high school for Columbine, they tried to blame Marilyn Manson. They tried to blame trench coats.
I remember that. The Matrix. That scene from the Matrix where they go into the building and break in.
They tried to blame so many different things. And what we're really talking about, the number one thing, what we tell everybody all the time, do your research and come at people with facts, not beliefs. Facts is number one. So, and I remember on one of the facts is the Supreme Court.
They had said officially that it's not,
video games or anything like that. And you all know this.
No. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like nobody walks into the Matrix movie, a normal adjusted person, and goes, oh, that seems awesome. I'm going to do that in real life.
It's always the argument is like, if you're going to say it about video games, well, don't forget movies because it's worse.
Yeah, you better ban John Wick.
Yeah.
No more John Wick.
No more John
Wick anymore.
So again, you got to come at them with facts, and you can't make yourself numb to this.
Right.
You also have to we have to figure something out.
Yeah.
But that's all I wanted to say about that one. So thank you guys.
But our condolences, of course, to all the families that have been victims to that. But let's get a little lively now.
Okay. Yes. Moving forward.
The whole point is to come on the show and talk about things we love in this like kind of nerd culture, this crypto culture, which is very different. So we usually start the show with catching up. Daniel's catch up might be that.
Well, no.
Anything else you do this week?
Did you do anything else?
Because of whenever you have the baby, I can't really do much else. So I was just reading the news, and it was getting worse and worse. I was like, oh my god. So it was just getting a lot. But I did get to play some stuff with my baby's older brother, which was fun.
Oh, cool.
So we'll be getting to that later on, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aaron, what did you do?
Oh,
you do I'll do. I always go first.
Right. No, it was just a pretty good week. Just productive aside from work. I did get to play a little bit as well. I've been still driving away at Dying Light, and I always have to reiterate, it's so hard on hard, but it's realistic. I would die that much too if I'm running from fast zombies and everything. But yeah, I actually signed back up for GameFly. It was I was a member before, and I used a different email. Pro tip, I got 3 months free. So yeah, I just because also one thing about GameFly that I really love is that I was telling you right before we started shooting that it's one of the cheapest places to get games. So you can actually try all these games. You can be like, oh, I wanted that one, and you get it, and then you can click keep. So instead of it being a $50 game, it's a $30 game, and as long as the disc is clean and everything, you click keep, and then they send you the brand new case. They've just sliced the plastic to open it up, so you got your much cheaper game, and it's in good working condition and everything. And
I forgot that they did that.
That and Redbox. Redbox, you can buy DVDs for really cheap. They just started
doing that
right?
recently. You got Into the Spider-Verse for $5.
Yeah, like $4.99.
Well, you lent it to me.
I did.
And the next day,
they announced it on Netflix.
Oh, that's
They put it on Netflix.
I bought it myself, and I'm like, oh, it's on it. But the other half is I still like having the disc. I still like having the physical ownership of the thing.
And this is the thing. This is interesting, and it's always going to be an ongoing debate, I think, for me. It's like, what about you guys? Do you guys like physical media? Yeah. I personally love physical media. I literally want to say, here, Andy, borrow this game. If I have the digital copy, I'm like, oh, you got to join my family, and then we got to link our systems, and then you can play and everything, and it gets really kind of mucked up.
And I will, in defense of the digital thing, my mother's apartment just burned down yesterday, which was
Ugh.
insane. But she's
Yeah, it's
safe. Everything was fine. It was kind of it was a weird, strange thing, but luckily nothing of hers got burnt up.
Oh.
But imagine
Lucky.
Yeah, it was kind of really
Smoke
strange.
damage, I'm
Like,
sure, but yeah.
smoke damage, and one of the walls is completely gone. But
Whoa.
it's crazy. But I was thinking, I've been through this several times. I've been through fires several times because living out
we're
here
in
the valley,
California, bro.
and yeah, we had to
Oh,
evacuate
that's
so many
sad.
times
Ugh.
that one of the things that I had to think of when I was evacuating my home the first time was, what do I take with me?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, feeling like taking my DVDs, taking my games, taking all that stuff is kind of, I would want to, but you got to be prioritized. So that's a great thing about the digital aspect.
That's
is,
true.
Is
Theft is hard.
theft is hard, and also loss is hard. But the social aspect is gone. So it's kind of one of those things where you kind of give and take.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's an ongoing debate. Aside from that, it's my birthday this week, so
Happy birthday, dude.
Thank you. I know. It's just kind of like not doing anything big, just kind of ramping up for some relaxation.
Is this your first birthday since the baby's been born? No, second birthday since the baby's born.
It
Because
is
she was
the
a month
second birthday.
old.
Yeah, she was supposed to be due on my birthday, but then she came 3 weeks early. Then surprised us and everything.
So
it
what
was
are you
quite the surprise.
What are you gonna do this?
I
time?
want to be left alone. I want to be able to sit on my ass and play video games. That's what I want.
All right.
Good luck.
That's exactly what I want. But I got a new game that I'll talk about later. But it's been kind of chill.
Cool. I forgot to shout out to Sam. Sam, how you doing, man? He's our like
Good.
He's our
Good.
Mobcrush coin boy.
It's right.
What did you do, Sam? Anything fun?
Not much this weekend. We went to the pool with the kids and just did stuff. We
Summer
fostered
stuff.
kittens,
like
so
public
we were doing
like
stuff
public
there.
pool at the park?
Well, no, like the school pool. We get a
Oh,
private
cool.
key. We buy into it.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Ah.
it's pretty good.
That's nice. Yeah, it's summer, obviously, here in America, and it's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's freaking hot.
I was having one of those weekends where I just couldn't figure out what to watch. But then I remembered there's a show called Sinner, which is produced by Jessica Biel. She was in the first season, and Bill Pullman's in it. And plays one of these. It's a thriller, detective kind of thriller show.
It's a series?
It's a series. Season 2 just came out on Netflix. Season 3 is coming out. I recommend checking out season 1 of Sinner if you're looking for a psychological thriller detective show. It's very true detective style.
Oh, yeah,
but
I
I
like
like
that.
it.
The
I
first
like it
season was
so much more.
What is it on?
because
You said it's on USA?
It's originally a USA show, but
USA's
Netflix.
formula has always been clutch.
They've been pretty
killing it
good.
For
Well, they're killing it because
decades.
then
Since
they
the
put it
Dead
on
Zone and Monk.
Netflix. All their shows go on Netflix mostly. And so if you want to check it out, it's called Sinner. And if you liked Bill Pullman or you haven't seen him in a long time, here's a good instance of him. He plays one of those like detectives that's just like, there's the story of that he's trying to solve or the case, but there's something about the case that affects him personally. It's like that whole like tie-in kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I miss Bill Pullman.
But honestly, great show. It's on Netflix. Check it out, Sinner. I also caught the most recent episode of Black Clover, which is an anime I'm obsessed with. And it's basically Harry Potter on steroids.
It's a good descriptor.
Yeah, and I think they're up to about 90 or so episodes. So if you want to watch it, it's on Crunchyroll, and there's a lot to catch up. But excellent show. Where the show is at right now, I'm just like super excited. But again, like it was one of those weekends I was trying to find something to watch, but Sinner really took most of it. So I got to watch most of the second season. Almost done.
I haven't laid into a good series in a while. I haven't even finished Umbrella Academy, which I know you were a big fan of that
it's so
adaptation.
good. Yeah.
I know. I pitched it to my dad, and like 3 days later, he's like, "I need more. When's the next season?" I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't even finished the first season."
Same thing with The Boys too.
Boys was great.
Everybody's been raving about
gosh.
Boys. Yeah, can't get enough of that.
Carl Urban.
No, my gosh, for the
Sinner?
Sinner, no, not Sinner. For your anime
Black
with
Clover.
the Black Clover, have you seen The Magicians out of curiosity?
No, and I always get like, you should see The Magicians. I always get that, and I never
Do
go
you
and
like
see
Harry
it.
Potter? I
love
tolerate Harry Potter.
I read all the books and everything.
This was like what I felt. It's like I love Game of Thrones because it's what I felt Lord of the Rings should have been, which was like a lot of really cool, like intense stuff. I feel The Magicians is what Harry Potter could have been, but it was about kids. Harry Potter was about kids. So when you upgrade them to college students, it's awesome.
Okay.
Cool.
I love
No,
it.
I heard it's a good show. I just haven't. I don't know.
I haven't been digging the Fantastical Beast or whatever that whole.
Nah, I'm
universe,
out.
all the
I didn't even
prequels.
try it.
I watch them. I mean, they're like it's like a 5 out of 10. If Harry Potter's like crescendoed around like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, that hits a 5 out of 10 for me. I'm like, it wasn't bad.
There's
It's
sometimes you
entertaining.
watch a movie and you can feel a cash grab. Sometimes you can play a game and you feel
The
a cash
first one
grab.
was
True.
good
That's
though.
true.
The first one was good. I think the second one might be more.
First one was fun.
I
I heard more negative things about the second
yeah,
one.
the
but
first one was entertaining.
I've always liked the Harry Potter universe, but not enough to play their Pokemon Go spin-offy thing. I downloaded it and I started to mess with it, and I was like, I don't know. I don't see the appeal.
I think Minecraft Earth would be more.
It gave me
Minecraft
hair.
Earth.
It gave
Yes.
me hair. The Harry
Oh,
Potter
that's true.
thing,
You had looked like
and it
Hagrid.
was so beautiful. It was luscious, like a
Giant.
lion's mane.
Yeah. No, Minecraft Earth, I'm actually excited about because I'm a huge Minecraft nerd. Love
Yeah.
that stuff.
Me too. So anyway, before we move on to our next segment, we usually at the top talk about this, but we are the Coinboys, so you can find us at thecoinboys.com, obviously, and there's we also have our Twitter handle, which is Coinboys Podcast, that's same as IG. We are here at Mobcrush, obviously. This is now powered by Mobcrush. So every Monday we go live on the Mobcrush website and also our channel, I believe. I might be wrong, but Sam, what are we broadcasting on right now? Sorry, you can clear that up.
We're on Mobcrush, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, DLive, and Periscope.
There you go.
Wow.
Boom.
And then what we do is on Wednesday, we do what's an edited, pre-recorded, and we do it across all those platforms on the Coinboys end. So
You get a little extra.
a little
cool
extra
stuff with the second-
Right.
context.
More visual.
Yeah, but
Andy's a badass editor, so he helps weave it all in.
I try.
You see what we say. It's
I
great.
try, yeah. See
Great.
what you
He
say.
succeeds.
But anyway, let's just get right into it, and let's get into block news. I put those in, by the way, last week. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes!
first up, we all know Alexa, the
Oh,
friendly
yes.
Alexa. You can now opt out of people listening to you.
Yeah. So, it was a funny.
is-
There's always a funny meme too. They're like a 1960s people be like, "Hey, be careful. The phone might have a wiretap." And now it's like, "Hey, wiretap, reorder me some toilet paper." So we're bringing microphones into our home that's connected to a giant corporation. Now, what they do for to develop and have a better functioning Alexa, so it hears the wake up word better and understands your commands. They have
records you.
humans that act. Yeah, well, it records you. A few seconds before the wake up word. There's this whole thing about there's ones where it blatantly wasn't the wake up word for Google or something like that, and it heard some disturbing stuff. So there's all the things they're saying you're listening all the time.
Yeah.
Now they're still going to be listening because you still have to use your voice to access stuff. But what you can do is you can opt out to having a human review it to try to improve it. So people aren't going to be listening.
So
through and be
instead,
like,
a robot is going to review it?
well, no, they're not. I mean, once the AI gets there, but basically, what people are already, I guess, welcoming this into their home. But now you can just go either to your Alexa or on Amazon, and you can go under the privacy settings, and there is the Alexa settings, and you can opt out to help us improve the user experience. Because that's what they do. They'll choose like 1,000, and someone has to go through and say, "This is what Alexa heard," and he'll listen and go, "Oh, that wasn't it at all," and he'll say accurate, what percentage accurate. So that's how they improve it. Is a human actually reviews all these things to help Alexa improve. But if you don't, if you
Don't want it.
if you don't want people actually double listening to you, you can opt out of there. So I just thought,
like,
hey, that's
Alexa, order anal beads.
oh God, we suggest for you.
We
Yeah.
suggest. Oh, this just is not.
No,
okay.
no.
But is this global? Is this in the United States? I thought it was just the EU that was. This was.
No, this is a United
Like a
States
for-
thing right now. I
Okay,
think
cool.
it's Amazon is just
Because
offering it.
it's being forced in the EU.
It's being forced.
What do you mean
to-
it's being
forced by
forced?
Amazon is being forced by the EU to no longer store the
Oh, well,
recordings
they've been
and all this stuff.
they've been way harsher with their
So-
like do not call list and the
Yeah.
email stuff. Like that's actually great.
So, which is phenomenal. So, but what I was
We have
trying
the
to get at
option
is,
to
I think they're
opt
just
out.
giving us the option because it's being forced in the EU.
Yeah.
If it wasn't being forced by them,
Yeah.
we wouldn't even have this option.
I think it's just been a
probably
concern,
think it-
especially for the EU, and I think that's probably better for them that they can't do that data. But
Yeah.
I feel bad for my Alexa. First of all, my Alexa is not Alexa. I turned it to computer because I like the Star Trek kind of thing. Because you could say, "Computer, tell me what time it is."
oh, I say echo, and sometimes
No, I do
the
computer.
Echo is our wake up word, and I'm just like, I'll say something similar to it, and I'm like, shut up.
I have the Alexa, but I barely use it. It's like an alarm clock. Set alarm, and that's it. I don't
I
really
set
use
alarms
it.
for
I know.
cooking. I check the weather. I do reorder toilet paper and paper towels.
I can't.
I use it to play the Moana soundtrack for my daughter.
Yes.
Yeah, all that stuff is good. And I got the Echo Show, so I got hooked up to the baby cam, so I could go Echo Show baby cam, and then it will show the baby still asleep in
Yeah.
the room and
Wow.
stuff. So yeah,
So-
and it turns on my living room lights. So
Now, can a human review the video of the baby? Is the question.
creepy. It's a
Yes.
third party with Wise Cam, so
Probably.
I would say I doubt it, but that might be in the privacy thing.
Probably
Damn it.
yes is the answer. I don't have Alexa. I mean, I have my iPhone. I'm already kind of sketchy about that one. I'm like,
Hey,
I learned
there's-
too much about stuff early on.
There's microphones on all our devices.
Exactly.
If the NSA wants to
So-
listen to you, they're gonna listen to you.
Exactly.
You know that we were talking about this off the new documentary on Netflix called The Big Hack.
Yeah, the big.
Oh,
They did mention the main
yeah.
guy like teaches classes about, I forgot exactly, but his first question was, do you guys think that they're recording you off your computer and ads are popping up? And everyone raises their hands. And he says, well, that might not necessarily be the case. It just might be that target marketing is working. And that psychologically you think it's because, I just said that. But honestly, that just means, that's what he was saying, that the target marketing algorithms that they're using are working.
Well, here's your test. Think of something you've never said before. Think of something you've never talked about before. Think of something you've never wanted to speak about before.
You're talking
An
about, thinking about it.
item,
You're talking
a
about reading the
product.
brain.
Yeah.
You just
A-
got to say it in front of your computer.
A product.
There
and
was a couple.
Say it on, and I'm guaranteeing you, Facebook at the very least
Yeah.
is going to give you something.
Zuck.
I don't know about the rest of the stuff, but Facebook for sure. If you got Facebook on your
Ugh.
phone, I don't know if they stopped
Yeah.
it, but that was happening.
But
There
he's
was
not wrong. There are algorithms built in order to target market.
Yeah.
Because, he was saying that each human being represents like 5,000 like categories and layers of things you've searched for, from just texting people to web searching. So there's like layers to all of us, and there's somehow those algorithms are helping target whatever you're talking about. Now, that thing is still theory to me, because I've only been able to say that once where, I was talking about diapers and diapers showed up, but then like, I don't know. I mean,
And
you know,
but that's the truth.
there's no like
People-
real truth to that.
My-
Somebody tested that. There was a couple
Yeah.
that did not have a cat, never talked about cats, didn't really enjoy cat videos, and they said, let's test this out. So they kept saying cat, kitty litter, cat food, blah, blah, and they kept saying it, and both of them on both of their profiles on
Sure
Facebook
enough.
started getting
Who are
cat
these
stuff.
people?
No,
That
that
was
was
anecdotal.
It was
I know.
no, there was
Could be the great BuzzFeed article.
No, it's actually on Reddit. It was
The
a
great
Reddit,
BuzzFeed
it was everything.
article.
But no. My friends who have no children, when I'm talking about diapers around
It
me,
shows up.
it shows up on their feed, and like, why do I need diapers?
Again, he said it's psychological.
Sure.
Is it like a Mandela effect
It's like
thing?
he's saying there's so many layers in that. I don't know how to, but he's not wrong, because you don't know if that's right, and I don't know if he's right initially. But he made a good point. He's like and they show you all these like diagrams, and they show the layers and layers, and it's like it's just target marketing. And you guys
It could
think
be.
psychologically you're saying it and it's showing up, but like for instance, you might have been like in someone's house, and yes, they have a baby. But you might have like searched something, and just even if it wasn't a baby, maybe they're like, "Hey, look this up." You know, like
what they can use is they can use non-personal data, which includes your location,
Right.
your search history, as long as they don't attach it to
So-
your name. So if my location
There
is
you
near your
go.
location, there's a loose connection of diapers that might be like, oh, maybe they're friends.
so they're like,
Sure.
Aaron's at his house, and Daniel always buys diapers. Maybe this means that he's visiting. Honestly, that is honestly a truth to how. it can
Yeah, these
that's
algos,
definitely
man.
believable.
There's
but
just
they're
no,
listening.
I don't like that. I just think that argument is still hearsay, because we don't know for sure. We just don't
Yeah.
know. And I know we're saying, yes, Alexa's listening to us, but I also like to think that there's another side to it, that it's just technology working. It's magic.
Sure,
I
but
would-
they
I would
all
concede to
admitted
that.
but they've all Google, Amazon, and Facebook have all admitted to listening to us. So
Facebook's the worst. I'm just going to say, I'm going to
so we can
blanket statement
assume
that.
more so.
Right, but
mine.
listening is different than saying because they're listening, they're going, oh, he likes diapers. Make sure you put diapers on. That just means they're listening to you. Doesn't mean that their algorithms for ads and how ads work is
Okay,
the same.
I'll concede the advertisements, I guess.
I'm talking about advertisements.
Okay, yeah,
like
sure.
when you guys are saying about
I
diapers appearing, that's
yeah,
advertising.
Sure, I'll
That's
concede the
marketing.
advertisement, but the fact is they're listening to you. They've all admitted to it.
All right, but our argument and talking was about ads and how you guys say things and you start seeing ads. Those are ads.
All right,
Those are ads.
sure.
True.
And well, sticking in the same sort of vein, the FCC now is banning robocalls. Exciting shit. And I said,
That's exactly what I sent him the
There's
article.
still a
that's
caveat
what
to that.
Sanity wrote.
Well, there was a big loophole when they first did it. When they're like, "Oh, you have to be on the do not call list and all this." So what it was is that they didn't really have a way to punish bad actors that were doing it. They were just like, "Hey, you got to stop doing it," and they'll get like some FCC warning and eventually a fine. So now they're closing the loopholes, and they're trying to have ways to put international pressure on these call centers and automated call banks. I get robocalls that are in freaking Mandarin all the time, and I'm like, "Oh Lord." But yeah, so what they're doing is they're closing the loopholes, and They're also making cloning illegal, where they basically wherever they're calling you.
Is cloning legal?
Not that cloning.
We'll find out.
But if they're
Poor
calling you,
sheep.
they clone the area code of where you're at, so you
Yeah.
think it's a local call. So you'll go, oh, this might be someone I'm trying to talk. Oh, crap. Now it's like, some guy in a call center in India telling you that, hey, if you send me a $200 iTunes gift card, you could possibly win a Tesla Model 3. And I'm like, what? How does this work?
Yeah, no.
So
Wait. So I thought, and this is because I didn't read too much into it. So it's not. They're not clamping down on just international. They're clamping down on all.
yeah, they're doing domestic for sure. So anybody
Okay.
operating within the U.S. that's like violating the do not call list or using the area code cloning, they're going to crack down on them completely. That's going to be completely illegal.
Okay.
Which there was a loophole before where there's a way to get around it. So do not call.gov. If you guys get too many of these calls, you can go there and register your number, get that taken off right there, and then this legislation's in place and it's going to come into effect hopefully sooner rather than later.
And
All right.
another tip:
Yeah.
Google Voice. If you need to
yes,
sign
Google
up with
Voice.
something, get a Gmail account, get a Google Voice number, and just start using that.
It's
and
free.
never
I
use it.
have I have the ownership of this is not my real email at gmail.com.
Whoa!
Yes.
I'll
Not
buy it
my
off you for
real
$20.
email
There you go.
at Gmail.com. Interesting.
I know.
You're gonna be
That's why
emailing him.
I just feel-
Good luck.
I know.
But
I never check it. Don't
now,
email me.
whenever you get a phone call from a number you don't know, do you answer it?
Not
Never.
anymore. I've
I
been
have
ruined.
Never
never-
answer.
I've been ruined.
If it's important, they'll leave a message. Like if it's like a company calling you that, whatever, they'll leave a message.
Yeah.
If they don't, then it's like, why did you call me then?
And if you know
Yeah.
me, effing text me.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
call it. We don't need to talk about things.
Actually,
And if you know me,
Text
you know I'm broke. I don't have a mortgage to refinance.
Yes.
there's a Seinfeld joke here, and he says, when someone comes up to you and says, hey, just give me a few more minutes, I'll be right back. He's like, don't even tell me. Just tell me when you're ready. Like, don't give me the pre-tell. It's such a Seinfeld thing.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Don't give me the pre-tell. Like, don't call me. Like, he's like, don't call me. Someone, like, a friend calls. He's like, hey, I can't pick up Jerry's calling someone. The friend picks up. He's like, hey, I can't talk right now. So he's like, then don't pick up. Like, that's a simple answer. Don't
Let
pick
me
up.
go to voicemail.
Anyway,
It's annoying, and that's actually a good thing because I get at bare minimum 8 calls a day, 8
Yeah.
spam calls a day, and I
I
used
get
to
a
put my
lot
phone number
now.
on everything, and I was like, oh, I'm at the county fair, and I get a chance to win something. I used to put my email, and so it's like my original email is compromised, my phone number is completely.
And you don't want to
compromised.
change your phone number
No,
because, then that person from high school may never call you back.
I don't want anybody from high school to call me at all.
But no, that's true. But the point is, if that's your phone number now is like your social security. It's like your identity.
Yeah.
It's like who you
Protect it.
are. And if you change it to I don't know how to get in contact with this person. I don't know how to
And if you guys don't have a burner email out there, make an email
Get a
that
burner.
you don't care about.
get a
'cause
burner
we-
Gmail.
Get burner Gmail, exactly. So
yeah, why not?
that's my thing. So they're listening, and robocalls suck.
Cool.
That was my news topic.
So
Welcome.
let's get into a little gaming because this weekend was an awesome weekend for fighting games. So we
Ooh.
just got over the Fortnite event, but EVO 2019. Now EVO is the biggest fighting tournament every year internationally. So this year it's great because you got games like Street Fighter. I think Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition was playing, Tekken 7, Super Smash Brothers, Mortal Kombat 11, Soul Calibur 6. I don't know this one.
The Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Under Night in Birth X. Never heard of that one.
What the hell is that?
Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which
Yep.
we'll talk about.
Basically, Marvel vs. Capcom and Dragon Ball.
So what is cool about this event is that it encompasses all these other games, and they're like, let's just make one event and have all the champions show from each game. So you get like the top guy from Mortal Kombat, and for instance, there's this guy named Sonic Fox with Echo Fox. He is now the biggest. Because he won the Mortal Kombat 11 tournament, he is now the champion, the number one Mortal Kombat player in the world. Now, a really great story,
Kinda cool
though.
flexing right there.
Yeah.
Can.
The one thing, though, is that he lost in Dragon Ball Z Fighters to a guy that's been playing for apparently he's a big esporter, but he never won.
Where's he from? Was he Korean?
He was like Korean.
I think he was, yeah.
And he literally wins, and he just starts crying. And Echo Fox is Sonic Fox is a great guy. He was
Oh,
very
yeah.
sportsman. He was
Gave
like
a
with
big
him.
hug, congratulated
holding his
him.
hand. But you watch this
Bowing
guy.
down to him. It was great sportsmanship.
I'm gonna cut.
honestly.
You'll see it on the Wednesday show, but he literally starts crying. And then he stands up. He's crying and he's holding his hand up. You see this huge crowd just like cheering, and that's the kind of stuff you want to see, like from gaming, these esport tournaments.
Yeah.
Man, That was so cool. So,
So much better than the Xbox Live smack talking and
Yeah,
slurs
so-
and everything. Yeah.
See, and this is how I remember tournaments being played when I was a kid from the movie The Wizard.
Oh, yeah.
They would start off with one game, go to the next game, go to the next game, and then end. And in The Wizard, they ended in a game that nobody had played before. They
Yeah,
premiered
it was
the game.
actually
Super
the
Mario Brothers
advertisement for. It was the
For-
first
yep.
showing of Super Mario
Mario
Bros.
Bros.
3.
3. Yeah.
That's why I
It
wanted
was
to
so
go
great.
on opening day for that.
That's a good video game movie. Like you
That's a
can't
great
say
video
it's a
game movie.
bad
It's
video game.
The
movie.
best video game movie.
Probably one of the best.
I
It's
will
Probably one of the
argue
best
that till the day I die.
The Last Starfighter is up there.
Sure.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
god.
The
Oh.
original Tron, not the new Tron.
Yeah, but the last
Yes.
Starfire wasn't technically based on a video game. It's
No,
just
he was just-
about a video game.
they just came down and chose him to save the universe
Yeah.
because he was so good at that video game.
the fake. It was a fake game in,
was.
in
Oh,
the
yeah,
in
it
the
so
universe.
funny.
But yeah,
80s. Yeah.
But yeah, if you want, it was all over Twitter, and what was cool is that they just kept showing all at once. I would go on to Periscope and see like the Mortal Kombat tournament, and then, but the Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z Fighter one I actually caught live and watched that guy just like win, and it's really cool that. First of all, that all these developers and publishers said, okay, we're going to all agree to come to this one event. Instead of it being like, here's the Fortnite event, here's the PUBG event.
Here's
These
the
are fighting
Overwatch League,
games.
yeah.
I love it.
A fighting game is a fighting game is a fighting game.
Yeah.
And that's true.
And
Well,
that's
and
true.
well, the people who
very
are usually
true.
the best at one are going to be very skilled at another. So it makes sense for them to bring all of these together
such a cool
and
thing.
have all these titans of like fighting game prowess coming in to all battle it out with each other.
And
think
I
it's
feel that
super
that's
cool.
more of a. I mean, they both have a very good set of skills. Like if you focus on one game or if you focus on many games, it's fine. But I really like the multi game. I like that a little bit better.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't expect somebody who's really good at football to go into basketball and dominate, or vice versa.
Bo Jackson,
Bo Jackson is the only one. Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders, that's right.
Go for it. But
Michael Jordan did
But-
not perform well in
okay.
baseball.
but yeah, I mean, I like the multi. I like really testing it out. Really
Yeah, and
trying out all different formats.
Even Nintendo was there. Super Smash Brothers was there.
Yeah.
It was there.
Oh yeah, Smash Brothers. That gets
Yeah,
pretty
I
violent,
didn't
too.
see who were the top guys from that, but I'm sure that Super Smash Brothers has been even before they started going to Evo. It's always been a scene underground.
Yes.
Fun fact: my brother, so South Florida has one of the biggest American Super Smash Brothers areas, like where a lot of them live, and they do tournaments.
Wow.
Yeah, and my brother's pretty darn good. But he knew what he would say is like, I know the second best Wario in the world. I know the third best da-da-da. So believe it or not, South Florida for America is where some of the biggest Super Smash Brothers American fighters play. And some people internationally come over for their mini tournaments. But now Super Smash Brothers is starting to hit mainstream again. They're really taking
Yeah.
it serious now, Nintendo.
Well, if you're in South Florida,
should.
to avoid the Florida man, you better stay indoors and just play video games, guys.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Gotta stay away from Florida
I also
man.
thought like New York and New Jersey had like a bunch of underground.
Of course. I would say so, but it's just odd. It's just like this Florida scene. They have tournaments like every Thursday down there. And there's big players that go there. But Super Smash Bros. Used to be always underground. And there's some documentaries, some older documentaries on YouTube you should check out that follow some of the biggest Super Smash Bros. Like that is such a well-respected game. If you're good at Super Smash Bros. Internationally, you're known, like in the fighting world.
Kirby, that's me right there. That's who I use in Super Smash.
But anyway, we have one final topic that we kept for last.
Wait, before that, did we not want to talk about Mr. Ninja? I mean, I know.
Oh,
everybody's
yeah.
heard
I guess
about
we
that.
forgot about that.
Yeah, well,
Completely
it's because
forgot
everybody's
about
been talking.
I mean,
about
everyone's
it,
been talking about it. Yeah.
But it's a big
Yeah,
deal.
we should talk
that
about
Microsoft, not weird flex, big flex, bro, by basically getting Ninja to move exclusively to Mixer. I mean, that's just they've always used their dollars to really do power plays and everything. But I think this one is a really smart one for them, just in general. So
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
he's off Twitch. Yeah, no more. And so what did he get? One day he got 500,000 subscribers on his
so
Mixer.
the first stream was done at Lollapalooza in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a tent set up, and he did the first ever Mixer stream in front of an audience, and he did it for like 8 hours.
It's
and,
crazy. That's an event at Lollapalooza now. And people are gonna go watch Ninja play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first day they had 500,000, and he's gonna hit 1 million probably.
Oh, easy.
But yeah, that means it doesn't. And here's the other thing: is that you know how you have to pay for subscriptions.
Yeah.
Anyone that joined in the first week has 2 months free Ninja subscriptions if you just subscribe.
Wait, so I have to pay to subscribe to his channel specifically?
there's extra. No, anyone can watch his channel, but if you want to interact and do certain things, and also you can get like special Ninja emojicons, and then he gives out stuff. you pay to subscribe.
It's
just
the
like
premium subscription.
you get a
yeah.
premium, but anyone can watch at any time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But there's just giving, and it's also supporting. When you subscribe to a streamer, you're saying, I really care about this guy, this girl. I'm going to give him money once a month to support them.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say the Coinboys is absolutely free, no matter what, any time.
Yes.
But
Come on.
Unless we're on Mixer.
you should send us money and or Bitcoin because
Enjoy
if you
that.
appreciate the content,
This is
come on.
true as well, but
That's
we're not
right.
gonna force you.
We're gonna,
So yeah, it's a win for Mixer, honestly, and one of the smartest things I've seen, and we're going to start seeing some exclusivity in platforms now.
Well, the thing is, the internet is now the new television, basically. Different channels are going to have different shows. It's already happening. You have shows on Netflix, you have shows on Hulu, you have shows on HBO exclusive. You have you're going to have shows on Twitch exclusive. You're going to have shows on Mixer exclusive. You're going to have shows on Xbox Live. I'm certain when they start doing stuff.
well, I think this is
Oh,
going to bring
Mixer is
on.
Xbox Live,
I'm
but-
sure a lot of streamers might be thinking, maybe people are going to look for extra content when they're not watching Ninja. Might be a chance for them to grow a little faster than with Twitch. don't know.
I
It's-
think absolutely he is helping the Mixer community 100% just being there.
Yeah.
He's helping there are a ton of Mixer people that are strictly Mixer, and now they're getting the Ninja audience is coming over. People are migrating. They're like, now Ninja's at Mixer. We got to go to Mixer.
And I'm certain he did it out of the goodness of his heart, not the giant check that they gave him.
enormous bank account.
Listen, I don't care if Ninja makes a lot of money because
I don't
Oh,
know.
good on him.
good on
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
And good for adoption in gaming. Like we always talk about adoption in crypto, but Ninja literally going to Mixer is an example of adoption in mainstream gaming, like to the
Oh, yeah.
T.
And
Absolutely.
playing at Lollapalooza, that's
Yeah.
also adoption in mainstream gaming.
Absolutely.
That he has that kind of draw. He was on frickin' Ellen. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I run a 24/7 kitten cam, and Mixer is we multicast much like you guys, but Mixer is our number one platform.
really?
We've seen numbers double and triple since Ninja.
There you go.
came
No,
over. That's both
anecdotally.
viewers and followers.
And this is for a kitten?
for a kitten cam.
People look at kittens?
Yep.
24/7.
Nice. Making
There's,
sure.
24/7.
there's one for like baby pandas. There's
There's
puppy
fish tank
there's
ones.
Yeah.
Fish tank ones. Yeah, I know.
You know, Adult Swim
mean-
kind of back in the day started the fish tank one, and they used to have commentators. So they would have just fish tank.
Yes.
They would have a fish tank, and these two guys making like they're doing
Banter and
voices and
commentary.
make jokes and stuff.
Oh, the goldfish is
Yeah.
going for the castle with the bubbles.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah.
That's
So
funny. That's crazy.
Yeah,
So that's the proofs in the pudding right there. Sam's right. Like, it's bringing people to the ecosystem, and they're like, what else is on here? Oh wait, kittens. Hey!
and you know who's sitting on their butts right now is Sony. Because Sony doesn't have a streaming platform, and
No,
Sony
and Mixer's exclusive.
Well,
Xbox.
does Sony need one?
they don't necessarily need one. But my point
It's gonna wound them though.
is that now they're gonna think, oh crap,
How is it going to wound them?
oh,
because
they're getting wounded.
people who are on only PS4, they used to watch Twitch and to watch Ninja. Now they're like, well, I can't watch Ninja anymore, and he's like my favorite gamer. Now I have to buy an Xbox.
So
Maybe
you
I'll get a
can't
used
watch
one.
Mixer on PS4, but you can watch Mixer on Xbox.
You can have PC, and
but you
stuff
can
like
watch
that,
it
yeah.
on PC or Mac, of course.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I could still see Mixer wherever, anywhere else. If you want to do PlayStation deals, Twitch is still out there. Not to say that I want to support Twitch because I could care less either way. But you know, it's still there. I do like the fact that there's multiple spots now because I didn't want one to dominate, and I felt that that's what Twitch was doing.
Twitch had the top of the mountain
Twitch
for
was
a long,
taking
long
it, and
time,
now I want-
And this might start to nudge them off.
I
We'll see.
like the diversity of it all, definitely.
It happened so fast too. It came out of nowhere because I think literally Microsoft just like reached out to him and was like, "What do you think? We're going to give you this and this and this."
Then he did a press conference with
A fake-
himself, with him in the audience
Yeah.
asking him questions about him switching exclusively to Mixer. It was fun. I watched
It was fun.
Yeah.
Listen. Do you know back in the day, Ninja was like, oh man, he used to, so the story with Ninja is that he was a competitive Halo player originally.
Halo 3, I think, is
He
where
was
he made
really
his name.
good.
Yeah.
He was very, back in those days, the early days of streaming and playing Halo, like there were a lot of, he cursed a lot. He used to talk crap to people.
Really?
So you can
Certainly
see,
has.
but you can see through Ninja, like the growth of like how they got to be, they could still be gamers. Like you still watch an industry and he still picks on people, you know, in a gaming way.
Halo was really like dirty though. It's
Wait,
like
what's that?
I was like Halo people.
Oh,
players,
Halo's a
players were-
toxic.
Oh yeah.
Not as bad as Call of Duty though.
Well, that's
but-
like Xbox 360. The Xbox
Oh,
Live on
God.
360 was like one of the most toxic environments that ever was. how many different slurs I've been called, and I'm like, you must be like 9 years old. Where do you learn these words? Oh,
I had like
Xbox Live.
and during the early days of Xbox, I remember my girlfriend would be over and they'd be like, "Oh my God, is that a girl? Put her on, put her on." I was like, "Oh my
No,
God,
it's
are
a
you
squeaker.
serious?"
Yeah.
It's my girlfriend, all right, just watching me play. She's like, put her on, put her on.
Yeah.
It's like, why? So
Everybody's
we
like, "Oh,
just
you
talk-
real girl? You real girl?
Like-
You slut?" And you're like, "What? What?" It's so bad.
Welcome to
Anyway,
gaming.
Oh yeah, welcome. Yeah, welcome to online, the internet.
We have one more topic that has to do with the show, the Patriot Act on Netflix.
Yes.
So what's going on, Daniel
So
Gutierrez?
Hassan Minaj
84.
is a gamer,
Uh-huh.
and he decided.
host.
Yeah, the host.
Yeah.
And he decided to kind of do an in-depth thing, and it's something that's been happening in the entertainment industry for a long time. So it kind of hit me in a personal level that I was like, this is insane, and something's got to change, and somebody's got to change it, but we don't know who. But they were talking about how the developers, the people who are there programming these games, it's not like in the past where they would do their thing. There was no expectation for a certain game to be out by a certain time. It would just kind of end up
Yeah, they
getting
blamed
released.
E3 a lot for that. Was to force release dates and then
Make
the,
it, yeah.
the jump up of media
And
covering
also,
video games.
once you made the game was done.
Oh
There
yeah,
was
back
no-
in the day, you couldn't do online updates. It's like if you released
There
a
was-
broken game,
Games aren't done anymore.
that was your reputation.
Well,
as
some
done.
of them aren't.
No, when they release a game on release day, as soon as you put it in, it downloads and goes, "Oh, we need an update immediately, 6 gigs." And you're like, "Oh." So they had to fix stuff from when they're like, "We're go everybody, okay, get that update, get that update, get that patch." Because
Yeah.
they're releasing broken games essentially.
Oh, they have, and they're just trying to get that dollar, trying to get
Yeah.
that money.
Well, they gotta hit that date. They announced it. They gotta hit it.
Exactly. And the amount of hours that these programmers are putting in, the amount
Absurd.
and it's called the crunch. It's called crunch time. It's just like
Oh yeah, it's like
It's
the last week
insane.
or 2 weeks. Sometimes they work like 7
no,
days straight.
not that's just what it is. That's when you're working. You're in the crunch, and they're working 14, 15 hours days. They're talking about how people barely go home. One developer was talking about how he was able to call his wife and agreed and allowed his boss allowed for a convigal visit
Oh
to
my
the
God.
office.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, see,
To the
there was a
office.
big deal this back in the day with the EA. The EA, Electronic Arts, was the #1 biggest video game developer in the world. And there was a woman a wife of one of the developers who created a Gmail. It's like EA_whistleblower, and started like basically reaching out to all these media outlets that they were literally bringing in cots, saying, "You're not going home tonight.
Yeah.
Here's all the Red Bull and coffee you ever want. We're getting this done." And they were like, it was inhumane completely. That was a huge deal. So it's still happening in a certain degree. People are getting their overtime and whatnot and everything, but it gets down to very inhumane practices.
It's absolutely inhumane, and a lot of you out there may be saying, "Well, they could just get another job." Well, they could, like, for me,
That's the golden ticket, though.
coming into
Yeah.
production, becoming a PA, being a production assistant is a grind, and it's a crappy grind. You cannot really, you can't really sustain life on your own.
Does not pay that great.
As
just
all.
letting you know.
But you're gonna come to me saying that my dream, why don't you get another job? But my dream, my passion, the thing that I worked for my whole life to do, to become, you're telling me to leave it? When it can be changed, things can be changed, things can be.
Well, the culture is
fixed.
changing. The conversation is happening. I mean, you've got.
I think
like,
it's changing a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
actually.
Nintendo and a few others, like they had Breath of the Wild was coming out, and everybody's like, "What's the release date?" They're like, "We'll release it when it's done." And it's like, so they
Also-
didn't release some date, then they had to get in and make a substandard game or try to abuse their employees to get it finished. And I appreciate the hell out of that.
I was gonna bounce off of you where they have to push to those dates, but Nintendo's known for if they feel like the game's not ready, they'll come out publicly and say, "Hey, we are sorry, but we're gonna have to push this game," and they do it in the most professional way.
Metroid
and this
4, they
this happened
wiped it.
recently.
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect the sales of the game.
No,
I'm certain.
it
If
makes
it's bad,
people
it
feel
probably
like
better.
Nintendo really cares. Oh my god, it sucks, but wow, they really want to make this game good.
But it's
Yeah.
not just the release date of the game. In at least in
Instance.
kind of the show that they were talking about. It's also they need to create new skins. They need to create new
Oh, yeah.
levels. They need
It's
to
all the
create new things.
extra.
And
Yeah.
it's continuous. And he was talking about microtransactions,
Oh.
which is what they have to really start
The
focusing
worst
and doing
thing
all this
we've
other stuff.
ever encouraged. And yes, everybody's guilty of doing it because you're like, it's 99 cents. It's 50 cents. It's only $5. All
Yeah,
this
yeah.
stuff. It is the most profitable version for games to be released. Like Dr. Mario, the one that just came out for the phone, and I was like, oh, they have like 2
I haven't
in-game
tried that yet.
currencies. it's okay. I mean,
I heard it's not. It's better to just play the original. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, they have like little levels, and you go through the world, and it's like you work down your stamina, and then it's like, oh, you can refill it back with this, and you buy all your special stuff with this, or you get all your bonuses, and it's like we're all to blame for that. It's like everybody who participated in Candy Crush, and instead of bothering their 5 friends, which was already pretty lame, you pay 99 cents to get to the next group of stages. Like everybody's to blame for that, for making this model so profitable.
Yeah,
and it's going to plague way too many kind of games as we go forward.
and so what I'm trying to get out there is especially after this is we have to figure out a way to support the developers for whatever actions they deem fair for the future games that are coming out. Like whether some of them are talking about unionizing, which I don't know about. Obviously, every company out there hates unions and all that stuff. But some of them are talking about residuals, getting residuals from the
I can see
game,
that.
because the other half that they do is they will make the game, they'll push them out there, they'll push them to the limit, and then just cut them. That's it.
Yeah.
Without warning.
It's workhorse. They'll work the horse till it passes out, and then see you later. We got new workhorses. Yeah, I mean, the game industry has grown so fast and has become such a behemoth that it's like, yeah, there's problems like this, but at least the discussion, the culture is starting
happening.
to shift. Aside from the whistleblower thing from EA was enormous. But then also, I was, I'd done a lot of training in voiceover and stuff like that, and that's a huge thing with people that work in voiceover video games. They're very underrepresented, or very underpaid, I would say.
Absolutely underpaid.
And one of the big complaints too is, one of my teachers, Dino Andrade, he's done a lot of voices, very well-known guy. He did a lot of voices for World of Warcraft, and he hated the way they do it because they were so secretive. They're like, you're gonna come in and you're gonna be a character, and he's like, well, what am I? I'm a gnome? Am I an ogre, orc, whatever? And he goes, oh no, we can't tell you that. Okay, so here's the line. I want you to say it kind of quizzical. And he's like,
Wait.
if I don't know the character, how do you expect me to get a good performance?
Exactly.
And then they pay him. He doesn't have a chance for residuals, even if he's a major player in something like that. It's like, so it doesn't follow like SAG-AFTRA, like the protection of the
They've been
union, actors
trying.
union.
They went on strike, the voice actors, but it's.
Yeah,
I don't think they've still have.
No,
a
they
union.
haven't settled on it. It's like
They haven't settled.
They want to unionize and basically make SAG include video games.
Yeah,
and
and they
the
still
video game
haven't.
developers don't want to do that because then they're going to have to pay people legit wages and give them potential residuals or buy them out or all that stuff.
Well, one thing that I was thinking as kind of a solution that it wasn't talked about just because, but we are the Coinboys and this is what we do. I was thinking they could get, because microtransactions in the future could be could end up being all blockchain. They could get blockchain assets as some sort of incentive when the game is over.
Yeah.
That's theirs. They get a good
That
game.
is actually-
That's a huge thing.
Yeah, that's been one of the most exciting integrations with blockchain and gaming, and we've talked about it on the pod before, the audio pod, and that's something that you're going to see going forward. And we just got a review of mine up there. It's a Crypto Space Commander.
Yes.
It's space exploration, kind of like cute little like three-quarter overhead, fly around, mine stuff, blow up people, pirate their stuff, do trade, but everything. Like I got a ship that I paid about $35 for, that I had to buy on a peer-to-peer
Through
transaction.
Ethereum.
But for Ethereum, and I own it forever. So let's say this game takes off wildly popular. I could sell this ship. I'm like, I'm not really playing it. Oh, cool. Someone's going to pay $100 for this ship, but I own the ship. Is mine.
And it's a huge incentive for the developers because then they have a good
gonna
reason
keep
to
you
make
coming
sure
back.
it's great and they push it, and it won't help with the hours unless that's just all company. That's
Yeah.
what the company needs to do. But at least they'll have something to feed their kids with. Should the game take off? Should everything work?
Well, and the potential is that your grinding in games could mean that you could sell stuff for a living and not by breaking the EULA like in World of Warcraft. If you grind and you get all these resources, you want to sell it, you can do it. That's legally okay within the ecosystems they create. So that's a whole side tangent that I would love to get into.
I
and we
love
will
the,
get more.
you know, back in the old days when I was playing Diablo 2 and World of Warcraft, there were these sites back in the early internet that would sell you gear and sell you
But
all
you were
that
breaking the end user license agreement
stuff.
by
I was.
doing so. and they
Diablo
could
2 had a
kick you off.
major issue with this, and there was so much cheating at one point. It ruined
Yeah.
the game
It killed the
so
economy.
much. It killed it all. I was so mad. I was like, oh man, they really screwed that up. But anyway, Diablo 2 is still one of my favorite games of all time. But I just had to mention.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm gonna let you
But
finish.
what was I going to say? Go ahead.
No, but
I
in
was going
regards
to say
to this whole thing is just a message out there for everybody. This is entertainment. This stuff makes us happy, whether it's movies or video games or anything like that. So we should really listen to the people who are making it and see how we can make sure that they can survive and live and all that other stuff. So support them however you can.
And not just the big dogs at the top.
Yeah.
The people
Get
making
some-
it. The people.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The,
Yes.
the real ones. And then, just kind of throw our support behind them. There, the episode also goes into the sexist the sexist life in games and game industries and all that stuff.
It's very male dominated. We actually sat and listened to a panel on at E3 about the women games from Keisha Howard
from Sugar Gamers, by the way. Check them out, Sugar Gamers. They were at Lollapalooza.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a picture of Keisha at the cake with her Jess, who's Ninja's wife.
Okay.
so
That's cool.
she's like taking a picture with Jess, who's her.
No,
which is
Keisha's
Ninja's
really
wife.
cool. She just wanted to like make a space for people of color or misrepresented people and females to all come together, and then it became this thing. She built a whole company out of it.
Yeah, they were saying that
it's amazing.
you're considered a veteran if you've been with the company for 5 years.
Damn.
Just 5 years, you're a veteran. And if you are a woman,
if you're
a woman,
for games
yeah,
to
and if
come
you're a
out.
woman or a person of color, it's less.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
less than that.
Huh.
So, because they need to figure out a way to survive. They need, and it's also there's a lot of pressure. They were talking about one, and I don't know which company this was, but you gotta watch it. They were talking about one company. One of the COOs would just came in and would fart in somebody's face for no reason.
That's a hostile work environment.
Yeah,
That is unwanted gas injections.
There's a lot of problems in the gaming industry that can be fixed.
Yeah.
And we just need to be out there listening
Times
and
are
support.
changing, y'all.
Well, I wanted to mention, because I happen to know a lot of indie developers out in LA, and shout out to Glitch City, which is a group environment where everyone rents out a space. It's like WeWork, but they all work in their same environment developing their games. They might be not developing the same games, but what I'm saying is that I've met personally indie developers, and obviously indie games could be like 5 people and they're working their butts off, but they have so much more passion, where this is a AAA game environment.
Yes.
That's what they have to work on. How do they make the
That's very
culture
true.
better? Now, Nintendo, I never hear... I've heard like minor stories about them overworking people.
But that's just Japanese culture.
But that's Japanese culture.
Yeah.
But they've always, like I said, come out and say things like apologize. EA doesn't really do that.
There's a word for death by working.
Yeah.
Like working yourself to death. There's one word
Wow.
for it. And what there's this. I remember seeing this news a few years back that Japanese salarymen and business workers were pretending to fall asleep at their desks, so their boss would come by and go, "Oh, look how hard he works. He works until he passes out." And so it was like they were like, "Oh, if you fall asleep at work, it means that's how hard you've been working." So they were faking it. So some people were getting in trouble for faking it. But the culture over there is insane. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've never had a fake work? I've had a fake work. I worked at Macy's once, and if you're just standing there, they assume they don't need you or anything like that. And when you're working hourly, you need every hour.
Oh, so they're gonna cut you and send you home. or
So,
something
and
like that.
how they would do it is they would monitor you from the security
I did
cameras,
my
which is
first-
bull.
Well, I did that my first job as a movie theater guy. They're like, "Oh my God, concessions are getting busy." I'm like, "I'm gonna go sweep up some popcorn over here.
Yeah.
I don't want to go help concessions."
So you had to do. Yeah, you had to look like you're working or look like you
Pretend
did
like
something.
you worked yourself to
So
death.
I would do this face for like 5 hours a day working at Macy's.
I do want to say something. I worked in reality TV for nearly 9 years. There's
I'm
no
sorry.
union for producers. Okay,
yeah.
I was overworked many times, and we're going to talk about a quick story. I worked on Hell's Kitchen, and when it was your episode, you literally worked the entire day. And I remember we had a control room, so you would literally work, do the show. Then the contestants would go into their dormitory, which if you ever watch Hell's Kitchen, they're in their dorm, they're cooking. I had to watch, like, for story. It was now, I started the day at like 8. It was now like 2 in the morning. And my boss comes over to me. I passed out. And she like shakes me and looks at me. "Why are you sleeping?" I was like, "I've been working 18 hours." Like my eyes were burning. And she's like, okay. She didn't like say anything mean to me, because I was like, the way I looked at her, I was like, "I've been here for 18 hours. Now, the
That's when
biggest
Andy
problem,
snapped. No.
there's a huge problem in reality TV with producers getting screwed that way, and I lived it. And once I would go on a travel show, as soon as I got off that plane, they owned me. And that didn't matter.
Wow.
It didn't matter what I did. Literally, I had to listen to them and jump. So that's a good
And
way
they
to
make
connect.
so
It was a
much
problem.
money from
It's
reality
ridiculous.
TV.
There's
We
enough
got
to be spread
screwed.
around.
It's
Yeah.
low overhead and extremely high
No,
profit.
the crew guys didn't. The camera people got paid correctly.
For their union, right?
They were union. They were getting paid hourly, but we would get weekly rates and be made to work 80 to 90 hours where the camera people be getting paid for those hours, I'd be getting screwed.
All I do is I see Sam saying yes to a lot of
Sam,
things.
you have some familiarity with what I'm saying.
I was a
Back me up.
PA on a bunch of shows and a logger on a bunch of shows. And it was a regular occurrence that I would do like the overnight shifts.
Oh, God.
So I'd work like 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Oof.
And it was, I mean, I didn't have
rough,
to do
man.
quite as much, but I had to be up at inhuman hours.
Yeah.
Like my day was like, all right, show up, the crew's about to leave. I take out the trash and then like watch the Pelco, which is all the cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, just make sure nothing burns down and nobody escapes. So it was
Yeah.
Biggest Loser. So
Right.
that was definitely a thing that would happen.
Yeah, I know. People are going to try to burn the thing down so they could escape and
Yeah,
stuff
well,
like that.
well, if they escape, you could catch up, though. It was Biggest Loser, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's we were in a mountainous area, so there was a mountain line nearby. So probably not a good escape
Interesting.
plan.
There was only one moment in like I was working as a PA on a commercial, and it was crazy. It was just an insane. They forgot the film. They forgot the da-da-da. And
sounds like a
this
great production.
producer comes to me. He's screaming at me at the top of his lungs. You got to go get the tapes. If you don't get them here fast enough, then we're screwed. I was going to say the F word, but
They
we're
didn't
screwed.
say screwed.
So he scared the crap out of me. I just moved here I was like a year and a half removed. One of my few early PA jobs. I was freaking out and like I wanted to rush to get this film for them.
Oh, the stress level.
So as I was running to my car, the other executive producer stopped. He's like, "Hey, Andy, come here." He goes, "Drive safe, be careful, don't worry about getting here fast. Just do it efficiently because I want you to know that because people have been yelling at me and sometimes something bad happens because you're rushing." He's like, "Just
Sound advice.
I'll never forget." And that was like
Kind thing.
I got that advice like once from him. And
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. And that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, the thing is,
So
in the
do it
entertainment
safely.
industry, in the entertainment industry, in the gaming industry now, and all this stuff, they play off of your dreams. You want to be a star. You want to be a part of this. You want.
Yeah,
Well,
wanna
this
be a
is what you
star.
have to do.
But it's golden handcuffs is
yeah,
what it is.
It's and the truth is, this is why I love this show. This is why I wanted to do this show with Andy, with Aaron, and now Sam, because we control it to an extent. We control when we start, when we stop, and it's something of passion for us. And we
Yeah.
thank you for your support
Yeah,
out there.
thank you.
But this goes for every streamer out there. This goes for any YouTuber. They appreciate your support, and because it's their call, and
Yeah.
and it shows that you like what they're doing.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
subscribe to Ninja, $4.99 a month. I'm just kidding.
God.
And subscribe to the Coinboys on YouTube
Yes,
and
subscribe.
Mixer and DLive.
DLive and everywhere
Twitch
else.
And on Mobcrush.
We're
And,
everywhere.
Follow us on Twitter.
Yes.
And
The
go to
Coinboys
iTunes
Podcast.
And rate, review, subscribe.
Well, I think it's time. We've had some serious talk. We've had some really interesting technology
Got back
news.
some stories.
Yeah, we've gone to some old reality stories, but let's get into some fun stuff and let's talk about what we're playing.
Yeah.
Let's see, Daniel. Oh wait, actually, Aaron, you go first.
Okay.
I have an order, sorry.
As I said, top of the show, still messing with Dying Light, trying to get through it. I got till spring 2020, till the second one comes out. But I was just trying to grind through a little bit. But then I changed it up, and on my GameFly thing, the first one I picked was one I've been hearing about. That was Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, I believe.
Yes,
it's called,
and I think
the full
we got
name.
some B-roll.
Yeah, so it's Bloodstained Ritual, and what it is, it's almost literally just a clone port of what
Castlevania, pretty
Castlevania
much?
Symphony of the Night was. From
Oh.
the mini map that
Is
you
it
have in the
anyone
corner.
from Castlevania a part of the game?
It's from 505 Games, which
Oh,
they make
which
some good stuff. Yeah,
we were at their booth,
We were
yeah.
at their booth at E3 and everything.
Man,
and
they're getting
I
like
didn't-
great games lately.
Yeah, I mean they
Jeez.
did Payday back in the day. It was one of their only notable ones.
But they
and
used to
then-
have like one little one and just a bunch of ones you never heard of. But now they got like a
Yeah,
bunch
they're
of good
starting to
ones.
knock them out. So
Yeah.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night was my absolute favorite, and I played
Boy.
it through like 3 times. I did it originally on the PlayStation, and then I played it again on the 360, and then it was a Games with Gold on the Xbox Live, so I downloaded it and I played it all the way through again. I love that game. So this is more of a modern cartoon, a bit more stylized, because it was, back in the day, PlayStation 1 was not the greatest of graphics. It was side-scrolling, pixelish. So this is more
It
of a
was a
high
lot
art
of
style.
Polygon.
It looks good.
Yeah. It
very
looks
good.
it's beautiful so far. So it's crazy action, very similar. You get the same like inventory. You can change out your weapons. You can use fists. You can use like a whip. You can use a sword. It's it looks like it took the concept of Symphony of the Night and just kind of accelerated it in their own kind of vision. So I'm all about it, man.
It's
super cool.
When it came out, I know on Steam it was overwhelmingly popular and people were all about it. Like,
it had some hiccups with the Switch. Apparently, it had
did it?
crazy slowdown. It wasn't optimized properly, so it was getting really slow.
Oh, it's probably like because it was like more high definition than Switch could handle, or what?
Apparently, I mean, when they're designing these things for release, they should be stress testing them. And
Okay.
it's like, so I think it might have been in handheld mode.
It might have been a
worse.
bad port over. They might have ported it bad.
they might have
Sometimes it's on the dev. It's not on Nintendo. It's on the
Oh,
dev.
yeah. I actually think it's totally in the dev. So I
Yeah.
think they announced that they're going to have a patch for it and everything. But I got it on the Xbox. Plays great. Works great. Beautiful. I'm having a blast with it, and I think it might pull me away from Dying Light a little bit. So, but we'll see. Like I said, I got time with Dying Light, and this is GameFly, so I got to maximize my 3 months.
Sure.
3 months free and everything. So yeah, it's super
Play
fun.
as many
though.
games as you can, man.
If you guys you guys played Symphony of the Night and you guys liked it, check out Bloodstained Ritual tonight. It's really, really cool.
If you like Metrovanias and all that,
Metroidvania,
that
one of my
great-
favorite styles.
Yeah, it's a very popular. Saying Metrovania is very popular these days.
Yeah,
A lot of indies are
Hollow
making
Knight,
Metrovania.
love that. Metroidvania.
It's like Metrovania. Whenever
Not
you see,
Metrovania.
I mean,
that makes it sound
sorry,
a little fancier.
not
Metroidvania.
Metro Last Night. That's a game too.
Yes, Metroid Last Light. Yes.
So I want to talk about a game that I very much care about, and it's Torchlight. Now it's the original Torchlight, but Torchlight 2 is really what brought it out. And what I'm getting at here is, if you see in the B-roll, it looks like Diablo, and reason being is because the two of the creators of the original Diablo, after Diablo 2, said, you know what, we want to make our own game like this, but we have so many changes we want to do, and there was some kind of thing going on, so they decided we're going to leave. So the two guys that were a part of the original Diablo team said, we're going to make this game called Torchlight. Torchlight 1, which you see on the screen, is one player only. But same way, it's a dungeon crawler. It's getting items, going into the town like Destiny has. I used to say when Destiny first came out, I considered it a Diablo-esque first-person shooter in the style, because you go to the town. In Torchlight, you go to the town. But here's the difference between Torchlight and Diablo: you have pets. And the pets, while you're fighting, could go into town and drop off items for you. In Diablo, you had to go
yourself.
You
back
had
to
to
the
hook
town.
it. Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest
Diablo 1
things.
was so lonely too.
Number 2, it's cartoony. It has more of a cartoon
the
fun look.
Torchlight
It's not.
2 is?
It's not like demon-esque and like die. It's more
So
Fortnite.
Torchlight 1 was more like that.
But
Okay.
the gameplay, the mechanics are exactly like Diablo. Now, Torchlight 2 came out about 5 years ago, and I played it with my hardcore Diablo. I have these friends that come out of the woodwork when Diablo comes out.
The old crew, huh?
The old crew.
Get the
So
band back together.
we replayed Diablo 3, or we played Diablo 3, and then when Torchlight 2 came out, not soon after, or soon after that, we played Torchlight 2, and I feel like it's a game people should play. So Torchlight 1 is not multiplayer. I do recommend, if you want to just get a good feel of the game, it's very cheap. It's actually the free game this month on Xbox Live. If you have Xbox, download Torchlight, the original game.
That's a very nice tip.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the reason I brought it up today, but they are making, which is makes me so ecstatic. They announced they weren't going to make another Torchlight until like a year ago, where they came out and said, "Oh, surprise, we're doing an alpha for which is called Torchlight Frontier, which I'm going to make you play for sure."
I'll do it. That sounds fun.
And
I've
if
played
you
any
wanna-
of the Torchlights.
But
Yeah.
it's got to be on the computer, my friend. We got to do it on
I
the
got
computer.
that. I got my Beast
Yeah.
VR.
I
rig
saw your
now.
beast.
Yeah.
I can't play
insane.
Diablo style games. I know they're on the console now, but they were made for the computer. They're so much easier to use.
I got no
and
problem
better.
with that. Yeah.
Trust me, the spells and stuff, you got to have the keyboard.
I don't know. Diablo 3 looks like it works with consoles pretty well.
It
Yeah.
as a guy playing from
Purist. He's a purist.
I can't do it. I can't do
Yeah.
the cross. It's not there's certain, now that I have a PC, there's games that I know I want to play here
Yeah.
and I know aren't meant for console. And now I have that option. I'm going to do it. So, Torchlight 2, please check it out. It's one of my favorite games as well. Daniel, what are you playing?
Yeah. What are you playing, Dan?
I decided to go back to Nintendo. Has always been my first love, so I haven't really had a chance to play the Switch
Cool.
since it came out. But my baby girl's brother has a Switch, and he has Super Smash Brothers.
Oh.
And I have not played Super Smash
Super
Brothers.
Smash Brothers Ultimate,
Ultimate, yes.
Yeah.
Just to
which
be-
is probably the best one right now.
it's insane.
It's really good.
I did play the original Super Smash Brothers on
the N64.
On N64.
Yeah.
Plenty of times. But this one is insane. So
Who's your main?
I had to for Super Smash Brothers, the original.
No, this one.
This
No,
one?
yeah. Who are you playing now?
I went back to my original just because he was the one I was comfortable with, but it didn't really matter because the controls have changed, and they're much.
It's changed so much since
But,
the first one.
but in all honesty, this is the first time where I'm not complaining because it's much, much easier. than
So
it was
who's
back in
who's
the
your
day.
character?
Yeah. Who?
Tell us!
It was Snake. Solid Snake.
Snake.
Who?
I wasn't expecting, but
You know
it
that
was really
Snake
cool.
was missing from the Wii U one. I think that now
Really,
they
no
brought.
Solid Snake?
They didn't have Snake in the Wii U one. They brought him.
Interesting.
They brought him back for this one.
You know, there's so many characters
There's a
in Smash
lot.
Brothers
This-
Ultimate. It is so
I think
many. It's almost too much, but I haven't got to really try that much. I found Kirby and I was like,
Well, Kirby has
Smash.
always been my favorite.
Well, everyone
Yeah.
loves
Kirby's always been my
Oh,
favorite.
if
and
you can
obviously-
charge up his power and still move around, and you can still jump with it, and then boom.
Well,
knock
I'm a
him.
Marth Mario guy.
Ah.
Yeah, Mario's
I
good.
still use Mario. He's really good in Ultimate too. Marth has always been like a stand-up guy. You know,
But
he's a good guy.
The thing is, it's
Stand-up
really
guy, Mark.
easy to play this game though. I
It's
don't know if
fun.
it's good or bad because like you don't have to do too much to get your to do your special moves and all. You
No,
press
there's a whole
one
button.
button,
It's just you gotta find
either
out
up,
what's-
But you
down,
gotta know
whatever.
You gotta know the moves. guys.
Because
but-
you'll launch yourself right off
Yes,
those
you will.
edges. in, like,
What I
a
will say is
second.
tougher with this game is the stages. The
Oh, yeah, the stages are
I'm like,
bonkers.
how do you fight? Like just
some will turn into lava. Oh, and then they have the special conditions, like the floor is poison, and you're like, oh.
Well,
so, yeah.
I don't play with the items because I learned from. Remember, I mentioned my little brothers are like hardcore Super Smash
Yeah.
Bros. So when I play with them during Christmas when it came out, they take all items off. They do it pro style.
Yeah.
And I
That's
like
the best
that.
way.
you know,
That's
I
what
didn't
I
play
like.
with items. I forgot the
Oh,
items were
good.
even.
Don't
I
do
didn't
There's
realize
a
items at all.
story. If you do the story mode, like it's a long story mode. It's actually really good. That's all about picking your team and like that supports you and having different items on there because there's different
Okay.
conditions on the stages and stuff. And then so it's got a lot of layers for just being Smash Brothers.
I think it's
good.
like the fan service version of the game because it's like it's
True.
all led up to this version, and now they're like, here's everyone, but I can't say
Waluigi.
He's missing,
which everybody's been hoping for.
and
Waluigi.
that's been like this whole
But hey,
controversy.
you're gonna
still,
get
right?
Banjo Kazooie.
You are, and I can't believe Banjo. That's awesome. That's
You know who
really
I
cool.
played that I did really like and I played as? The Duck Hunt Dog and Duck.
Eh.
Oh yeah.
Which threw me off. I'm like, how are you supposed to fight? And they were good.
Don't
I was
forget
like,
the
"Alright."
Wii U trainer is in there.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
the Wii U,
the Wii U
fitness
trainer
Yeah,
is in that as well.
You can do like yoga poses. You're like, go to down dog and like bump them down.
And shout out to Wii U Fit 2 on the Wii U was actually really great, and I miss it. So I should have never sold my Wii U.
I know. I feel like
Oh,
I never
there-
got the Wii U. I had the Wii.
There was some
and then I
good
went to the
games.
Switch.
Yeah.
I almost want to buy a Wii U, but they're still expensive.
You know what's a
man.
great game? Is Super Mario Wii U, the side-scrolling game they made for the release. It's so good, and if you beat it,
Yeah.
you play it, it becomes a Luigi game, and you
Oh, that's
become
cool.
Yeah, Super Mario Bros.
But I
Wii
never
U.
played any Luigi's Mansions. I feel
Oh,
like
God.
I know. I feel like
you
I
should get the
missed on
third
missing
one when
on
it
that
comes
one,
out.
yeah.
But I loved Super Mario
GameCube, Luigi
Sunshine.
Mansion?
Oh, Super Mario Sunshine
Oh well,
was
that's
epic
I still
on the
love
GameCube.
Sunshine.
Galaxy on the regular Wii. I didn't really.
I
dig
wasn't a
it.
good Galaxy guy.
Yeah.
I didn't like how it kind of was linear as opposed like it gave you that feel. It gave you that feel like, oh yeah, you're in this area, but I felt linear. I was like
Yeah.
trapped, and then I'd have to go somewhere here. I don't know. The new one was really good though.
Yeah.
The one that just came out.
Oh, Odyssey. Yeah.
Odyssey. Odyssey was really good.
For the
I'm
Switch.
getting my Switch again when it comes out. I'm getting the Switch Lite.
You are gonna get the Switch
I'm
Lite, okay.
waiting.
Okay.
I'm
Officially
excited.
getting the Switch Lite.
You know
Alright,
why? Well, it's not coming out till March, but the only reason I'm getting the Switch is for Village Crossing. So, or the
Or
new
Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing. Sorry. What
I
am saying?
got
Village
on my
Crossing? Animal
Switch
Crossing.
Stardew Valley because apparently this one's multiplayer and I never played this one and it's supposed to be,
Animal
very
Crossing,
popular.
dude.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing
But-
else matters.
Yes,
Just
but
kidding.
Stardew Valley, and then because the homie on Twitter, the well-read mage, was like, "Dude, if you get on the Switch, we'll join up." And I'm like, I downloaded it, and then I got busy playing my cousin Pedro and Dying Light. No, so the backlog grows. The backlog.
So,
grows.
Sam, what did you play? Anything cool?
I think I may have talked about this before, but we did a card game called Vi.
Yeah,
you
Vi.
did. We were
So
trying to look
I
it
was
up.
trying to find how
like
do you spell
B-roll or
that.
something.
It's VYE.
Okay.
And it's
I couldn't
I found
find
VIE. There was a card game called
No,
VIE.
yeah.
I
It's-
was trying to help look. But
Yeah,
because
it's an
when you
indie
talked
game.
about
Yeah.
last week, I wanted the cover and I couldn't find it.
Yeah,
because I spelled it wrong.
I
Okay.
totally meant to actually get a picture this time around. I was like, whatever I do, I'm gonna get a picture of it.
That's
Oh,
right.
I can
Do it.
show
There
it
you go.
now. All right.
Get your B-roll.
But yeah, I played against with my 6-year-old, and she beat me again.
All right.
Wow.
So there you go. And I think the
It's ruthless.
yeah, totally. I think the recommended age is like 10 and up. So
Okay.
Wow.
she's ahead of her game.
She's advanced.
Wow.
But I did want to put this out there. Our guys on Friday play Mortal Kombat 11. And on the 13th, they're going to drop the Nightwolf DLC, and we're going to do
Nice.
like an all-day stream starting from like noon and go until at least 6. And you guys should totally come by if you're free.
Oh,
That's cool.
That might be cool.
Well, yeah, they just announced Nightwolf
Yeah.
is coming to Mortal Kombat.
Man, I need to
11.
get Mortal Kombat 11. everybody's been saying it's the best one ever.
It's great.
I'll probably get it.
I'll probably get it eventually.
It's got Spawn.
I think by like Christmas, it's gonna be like half price probably or whatever.
That's what.
That's the one thing that I learned from you is like wait until
The holidays
for
for the
a few
AAA
months
But
out.
they're doing certain stuff like, they'll have like whatever seasonal challenges they have where it's like, oh, if you want to get the classic Scorpion skin, you have to play every day for X number of days, and you get it, and then after that it's gone. I'm like,
Well,
oh,
I have a
want the
question.
stuff.
As a new guy coming back in, and you're probably gonna be screaming and typing away. Season passes. What are those?
It just gives you like if you pay the season pass, you're good for the whole year on any DLC that comes out.
That's true. So if they're going to say, we're going to plan for 3 DLCs that might be $30 each, so it'll be $90 on top of whatever you already paid, your $64 for your game. But if you get the season pass, it's $50, and then you're going to get all 3 of them. Now the thing is, you don't now that's the calculated risk. At the beginning of the game, if you're a big fanboy, it's probably easy. Every Fallout that had a season pass, I was like, I'm in.
Okay.
It was a mistake with 76. Actually, I don't know if there was one in 76, but Fallout 4, I got
You know
all of them.
what? Why I don't know why I bought the season pass for Battlefield.
Oh, yeah?
Wait, the Star Wars one. Is that
Oh,
Battlefront?
Battlefront. Mhm.
When the Battlefront came out and it was an absolute crappy game, I did not
Oh,
enjoy it.
yeah, a lot
I
of
bought
problem
the
with that
season
one.
pass and I was like, why did I do that? Oh my god!
Buyer's
I even
remorse.
did it for EA. I gave EA money.
Oh,
man.
you know.
Anyway.
But that's the season
Gross.
passes.
Okay.
The season passes for like Fortnite and stuff. That just gives you.
No,
it
it's
gives
the-
you this.
It's the season pass for the season. That's all you have to worry about. You just pay. It's a battle pass. So you're just getting. You can play for free, but the battle pass gives you way more unlockable skins.
because you have
by
to
playing.
grind to get
Yeah.
all those unlockables. But
Right,
you get
and then at the very
battle pass,
end is the season's skin. Like 1 year it was season 5, maybe was John Wick, and like they always have a final skin that's really hard to get. You have to beat the battle pass in time before and then when the season's over, you pay another $9.99 to do the battle pass for the next year. It's kind of worth it. It's not
In
worth
That's
it.
some
how
cases,
Fortnite's
it's probably
making
worth-
$40 million a month.
Yeah, and paying their devs crap.
Well,
Oh,
Maybe.
bringing it back around, sir.
Exactly.
I see. Well, that will do it for what we're playing. Now we're gonna do Coinboys play.
Let's play games, damn it.
By the way, that on the edited show, the chiptune music is my chiptunes.
Yes.
I made them.
It's
You did-
it's an Andy original.
Those are
right
Andy
there.
original. We will not be any
Now,
copyright
did you have any
problems.
musical talent? Do you have musical talent? I don't know if you play music.
So really funny is that
Plays 8-bit music.
Only.
It's
I never was connected to music. And it's not because I don't like music. I tried to learn the guitar when I was a kid, and I'm just like, my family were just not musically inclined. But when I discovered chiptunes, yes, I have an album. It's called Kill Boosh Into the Journey of the Boosh, and it's available. it's available on chiptunes.org.
next time you have a viral tweet, you need to go check out my SoundCloud,
Yeah.
chiptunes.
No, I have posted some of my chiptunes. I've even showed.
He has a couple.
One day, what I'll do is I'll make like a video that we can throw to that can show you how it all works, because it's really interesting. It turns your Game Boy original into an operating system that allows you to make music. That's really what it is.
Yeah,
And
I used to
it's-
have an app on my phone. It was just called 8-bit Piano, and you could change all the styles. And now it's not supported because they never updated it.
And I
I'm
want to
sad.
say the music title of the song is called Coffee Craft, of the one that you hear in that throws the Coinboys play.
Well, you can say it because it's your song.
It is my
If you
song. I
decided to
own that.
Change it. Sure,
I
it's Coffee
created it
Craft
from
now.
scratch.
Oh.
It's not my best one, but I wanted like something to throw into this thing.
It
that
works.
was something
it's
we
nice.
owned.
It's
I dig it.
lovely.
Anyway, because of Evo, because of fighting games, why not play Street Fighter 2 Turbo?
I
We got
know.
that. Are you
Bring
ready?
it back
Bring it.
here. I know. Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
You guys,
Was
how about this?
OG.
Daniel and Aaron go first. I'll play winner.
Okay.
All right.
I remember playing when I was a kid. Well,
So classic. When this came out in the arcade,
Oh,
there were
man.
quarters being lined up. I remember seeing it and being like, "Oh my God, Turbo came out! Oh my God!"
You could be Cammy.
I
that
promised-
Fei Long,
I promised to get Fei Long.
T-Hawk was me.
the reason why I got Fei Long is because do you guys remember
Yeah.
Wizard Comics
Of course.
from back in the day?
Yeah.
Of course.
And they would do the who would play what they would cast their own whatever.
Okay.
They were gonna cast the Street Fighter movie before they even thought about making the Street Fighter movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they even had said, "We're gonna cast Bruce Lee, but since he's dead, Fei Long will not be in the film."
there you go. Because he's just literally just a clone of.
Now, I haven't played Turbo in a long time. And like I was trying to tell you is that I hate playing fighting games on controllers. I love control sticks. I think fighting games were meant for the arcade. I just love the control stick.
I like
Yeah.
the
I
art.
love it.
When I play fighting games at the arcade, I like the. It's
And
almost
the
like you're really in a battle.
Yeah, and you could do the moves with the stick. It's free moving, And obviously you could buy control sticks for your console. So if I do get
Sanity
Mortal,
kills us again.
Dude, sorry, Cammy was always my jam.
100%.
Cammy's great in this.
100% so far.
No, you got one more match.
No,
buddy.
that was 2.
That was 2. Yeah.
Jesus.
God,
Okay.
Cameo with the turnaround.
I have not. See, and I
Yeah.
don't like playing fighting games on Super NES controllers either. Fatal Fury was pretty rough last week.
Hit start.
Oh yeah. I used to like Zangief, but I'm gonna go with my first love in video games.
Man,
and that's-
Zangief was always complex, man. You had to have the whole
know.
360 throw.
What was it?
So what do we
Zangief,
got for the
Honda?
NES?
Oh, so it's going to be jab. It's like, what is it? Light kick, medium kick, hard kick, light punch, medium punch, hard punch.
Oh god.
It's the original arcade kind of layout that I always had to change when, I got on my controller. But
No, I loved the fact that Chun-Li could jump off walls, and that was always my favorite.
It's the best kick in all video games, pretty much.
She in the movies, and they had a lot of animated.
How do I use the super, or is that you?
Oh, that's my super. But
Damn it.
Good luck. But in the movies, Chun-Li always had the best storyline. I felt.
Chun-Li's the best.
Did
There's a
you
lot
guys
of.
ever see the anime?
That wasn't that.
yeah.
You didn't kill me.
No, it was
Oh,
a
the
good
anime
fight.
was way better. The movie.
The anime, no, the live action movie was a mistake for.
What about the
several
Jackie
reasons.
Chan parody movie in Japan? And he plays Chun-Li in that.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
What?
Yeah.
You haven't seen
What
that?
is this?
Look it up. It's like a parody movie he did in Japan, and there's a scene where he plays Chun-Li.
I'm in. I will watch.
I think I posted it on my.
I mean, the dude.
Oh, come on, dude.
Let me.
Damn, I'm trying to
We
knock
have
out
One
the
more
super.
each.
to
I'm gonna
knock
be
him out.
Zangief next.
We've got to knock him out.
God damn it.
And here
Yeah.
comes a new challenge. I love the.
Because this is the arcade style one, I can't change my character in between.
Good.
It's okay.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. You want me to stay as Cammy, my best
Yes.
character forever? I used to play when finally got it on Xbox Live that you could play, other people on Street Fighter.
The old one.
The old one, when you like when you're playing online, you can get like different banners, and I always had one. I'd put it on as anti-Shoryuken because I was trying to bait people into picking Ken because I was really good with Cammy, and I would mess people up, and I would see people start to search around, and then they'd always go back, and I was like, oh, there it is, yes.
I just like literally like
Damn,
love.
son.
So I had the Neo Geo system, and we had Samurai Showdown, and it was just the best. We both had 2 portable control sticks. I just can't do the controller. I just don't feel right. When we went to E3 and we played the Marvel vs. Capcom on the huge,
yeah.
I felt comfortable in that more
Yeah.
than I would on a controller, and the controller was huge.
Ah, damn it! Look who's actually trying to
Finally,
bring it back.
finally,
I have to.
finally,
Oh,
fast.com.
I
I
have
lost a
to.
round. No.
First round loss.
My
That's the
family.
First round loss.
So you've learned how to block. That's your first
Yes,
thing.
sir.
Oh boy. To be the best, like I didn't really pay attention who's the best Street Fighter in the world right now, but
Street Fighter 5 is cool. It's
didn't-
fun, but I mean, some of those people get like, I don't know, just watching them play 4D chess, basically. Sorry.
Wow. He was busy explaining something,
Alright,
going,
they're
okay,
playing
I'm going to go
4D
ahead and
chess.
just keep on doing
one
this.
more. Here we go.
All right.
But I got one in.
Who
I got
can
one in.
beat Sanity
That's
at
gonna be the
any
damn-
game on Coinboys show one of these
0
days?
so far.
Oh.
I think you've gotten one round, and I've had one round, but not today. Like, we've had separate days of one
Might have been
round,
Fatal
win,
Fury.
one round. Yeah, you had Fatal Fury one round. I had this one round.
Come on.
What are Cammy's special moves? Just the
she's
leg
got,
toss?
How do you
she's got
grab?
That thing.
Oh, that, okay.
So it's the
There it is.
whatever cannon.
This was always inappropriate.
Yeah. And then she's basically got her own like Shoryuken, but with her kick.
How long did it take you to beat the game the first time you played it?
First time I played, I can't even remember. Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo was like so OG, and I would eventually get to the point where I was setting it on like as hard as it could possibly go.
I remember.
Oh, man.
I remember
Ooh,
it
it was
being
close.
3. It was a whole 3-day, like almost a 72-hour session
Oh yeah, me and my brother used to
of going off.
crush it. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to play Battle Arena Toshin Den, which is a favorite of mine, and it was the first fighting game for PlayStation 1.
Oh yeah, it was like almost a launch title.
It was such a good game. It's such a good game. Maybe I'll try to find it in. Oh, there's my Zangief!
Oh,
Yeah, I used to use Zangief was my main.
dude, he's so hard to use sometimes. with
Zangief
some
But I
is-
knew
special
how to
moves.
use him.
Zangief is my favorite in movies. Like in Wreck-It Ralph, he was hysterical, and in the actual Street Fighter live-action movie, he was hysterical. When he says when they were watching their own base get exploded, he goes, "Quick, change the channel!" It just made me laugh up. Oh my gosh, Zangief, survive!
Uh-oh.
Survive! Survive!
Oh,
Damn it.
maintain. He was starting to get me with that jump kick, man.
feel-
That had some crazy
That's
reach on it.
basically all he
Cammy is
did.
not wearing pants.
Yep.
No, nor should she. That's why I love when you see cosplay from, just
anywhere.
wherever you see cosplay of Cammy, it's like, thank you so
Well,
much.
that was fun.
Yeah.
Did you guys have fun?
Yes.
Always have fun. I always have
Street
fun
Fighter.
beating you guys.
Yeah,
in
whatever.
games.
So next week, just wanted to give you guys a heads up. You'll probably see Sanity and Daniel here, but we're going to be moving the show to the evening next in 2
couple
weeks.
weeks.
In a couple weeks. Yeah, changing up the time frame so you guys will be able to catch us live when you're. You don't have to sneak away at work to watch us because I know all of you are doing that right now.
Yeah, at this moment.
But we will do a regular time show next week on Monday. Also,
We still have the recorded, the
edited version will be on Wednesday.
The plan being 7 p.m. Monday nights,
Yes.
Pacific time.
Yes.
And we had some things happen where we weren't able to do an audio podcast, but I was thinking maybe we could definitely have one for next week. And again, we do have a podcast. That's where it all started. It's like our foundation. It's like our bloodline. I don't know what to call it. But
Yeah, you guys put in many, many hours in that.
Yes.
For,
many
for a long
hours,
time.
and it's not going away. But you can check us out on iTunes at the Coinboys. Also on our website, thecoinboys.com has SoundCloud available. We're literally on everything in podcasting. And then, of course, we have our Twitter, which is Coinboys Podcast. Our IG is Coinboys Podcast. And pretty much that is it.
Yes.
Right?
Check us out.
We're out there.
Subscribe,
rate,
review.
follow,
Send us
email
presents.
us,
Yes.
ask us questions.
And I've got a couple codes that I've been sitting on that I think
Next
we're going to
week?
start some giveaways. So yeah.
Nice.
So check out our Twitter. Stay on there. We got some polls we're going to talk about. We want to hear your guys' opinion, and we're going to give details there and on the show of how you guys can possibly win some.
But I
codes for
think
the
you can
Switch.
only win it on the show.
I think that's a good idea. So
Yeah.
now you got to come back and
Now
actually
you have to
watch the
watch
show
us.
to win. So that means the first people probably have some of the best chance on there.
Yeah.
So let's see.
But anyway, I'm Andy, aka producer, by the way, or producer BTW on Twitter.
I'm Daniel, aka at DGutierrez84 on Twitter, and
I'm Aaron, aka Sanity, at Sanity Crypto on the Twitters.
And Sam, my man.
I'm Sam Proof on all the platforms.
All right.
Sam Proof.
Until next time, we're the Coinboys, and take care of your tech, your crypto, your gaming, whatever you need to do today, because
Do it
that's what we
all.
talk about.
and remember, Alexa's listening.
Yes. Shout out to Dr. Girlfriend from Venture Brothers, by the way. Don't know if you saw that.
Venture Brothers, one of the best
Venture
shows
Brothers. Thank
All
you
right, guys.
all. See you next time.
ever. Later, guys.
Peace.
Peace.